Hello, everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode of The Radio Dan Show with your host, Dan Delgado.
Radio Dan is not the brightest dude out there. I agree with you on that.
Themselves look like Radio Dan, and they can tell you what Radio Dan's going to say the next show because they already know what Radio Dan's going to say because they know the information. They know the information what Radio Dan's going to say before he says it.
I wanted to talk to Radio Dan, but he doesn't accept phone calls. I want to complain about that, first of all. So is it a radio show he wants to have or a chat room show? Because he spends way too much time entertaining people on the chat room than he does talking on the radio.
Next question to you. Do you know Radio Dan?
Radio Dan is right.
Radio Dan, he needs to get educated.
Oh, no. It was the Radio Dan Show. It's like one of the most popular radio shows ever.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen,
Good evening.
and welcome.
Thank you.
It's time once again for the Radio Dan Show. My name is Dan Delgado, and here we have another exciting hour of movies and television and other life-altering issues. Who knows what we'll be talking about tonight, Jessica? Who knows? Well, I guess I do. You probably have an idea as well. We do it live. We do it 5 nights a week. We do it right here on Talk Radio X, which is the home of the Radio Dan Show. Are you aware that Talk Radio X is the home of the Radio Dan Show, Jessica? Are you aware of this?
Yes.
Good job, baby. Good job. Anyway, let's...
My feet stink.
I'm sorry?
My feet stink.
Well, is that necessary? It's no one's going to notice unless you tell them. You see? You could have gotten away with having... You know you're on the camera, right? Everyone's watching you smell your feet. I'm just curious. Like, did you forget? Or you were like, yeah, I don't care?
It's not my feet, actually. It's something
No, but I want to know, like, when you went ahead and you just decided, I'm going to smell my feet right now.
Yes.
Because I'm under the impression that they stink, right?
I think that they stink.
Did you think, oh, I'm on camera? Or did you think, I don't really care. I need to find out where the odor is?
Bing.
Yeah. So it's okay that you do that. You're fine with that.
Oh, yeah, I don't care.
I'm just checking. I'm just curious as to, how you feel about some of the things that you do to yourself. That's all.
Oh, I don't mind smelling my own feet.
Okay, yeah, you look like hell tonight, by the way. You look very tired.
I skated tonight, so. Although I didn't skate as hard as I did last night.
I'll tell you what. I skated as well, and I feel awful.
I was so... I love you.
Thank you very much. I love you too, sweetheart.
But, like, the effort I put forth tonight was like half as much as I put last night.
I don't need to hear any of this. What is it? What kind of discouragement are you?
We need to pick it up, Dan.
Oh my! You know what? Why don't you pick it up and just go on ahead without me? I don't ask you to stay behind.
No, I will not do that. Not because the night before you had a terrible time.
I did have a terrible time because there was a bunch of stuff on the floor.
Yes,
and then I almost
killed
myself.
There wasn't tonight.
No, there was in that one area where it's full of trees and stuff from trees fall on the floor. It wasn't nowhere. It was nowhere near as bad. But it was windy out, so maybe the wind blew all that stuff. I mean, do you think somebody goes around and sweeps off that track every night?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe every now and then you get someone who does it because
the track sweeper.
I would do it.
You do that?
I would.
You take that job? Well, what's good about a job like that, like the street sweeper guy, right? That guy works at like 2 o'clock in the morning, and everyone's asleep. He gets up probably like 10 or 11 at night. And then he goes to work at midnight, and he gets himself a cup of coffee because it's morning for him, and no one's around.
Yeah,
like it's all closed. Everything. Now, of course, the only problem there is if you do see somebody around, it could be a problem.
Yes.
Because nobody's doing anything good at 4 o'clock in the morning, right?
Right.
Unless they're like farmers or something like that. Anyway, if you wanted to get yourself involved here with the program, you are more than welcome to do so. You could give us a call. We have a phone number set up for you. 661-349-TALK is the number. 661-349-8255. Go ahead and pick up the phone and dial on in. You'll be on the air with me. You'll be on the air with Jessica. It's a very exciting thing that goes on here.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, ask me a question.
Is there something we could do about that call-in number? It looks... that is the most... it looks like you made it with a label. It is terrible.
You don't like it?
I hate it. It looks like amateur.
Well, what do you think we are?
I understand that, but we don't need to look it with that phone. Can you make it look I mean, heck, I almost said the S word.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Let's see. Let's see what we could do to spice that up a little bit. Well, let's see. What do we have here?
No. Can I make something, then you can kind of put it there?
Oh, is that right?
Like a picture almost?
So like if I turn it into like aerial type, that doesn't help you out at all? Do you care?
It looks...
And then I put it like nice, I can center it like that. Does that look good for you? Are you happy with that?
I like the centering better, but it's got to look like fancy or Talk Radio XE or something. It's got to be like a radio type of background to it, not that gray, and it's got to look like a phone number more. It looks terrible.
How about that? Does that get you excited?
Red?
Yeah.
No.
Lime green.
I have to go into the chat room. Stop.
I've got a nice
me.
deep blue for you. Or how about this? How about fuchsia? Everybody loves fuchsia, Jessica.
Purple.
Or you could call it purple, but I will go with fuchsia. We could just go with generic white. How's that?
Make it with the bracket, with the parentheses around the 661, and then put a little dash between the 9 and the 8. That looks terrible. You're
awfully critical, by the way.
To your mother. Word to your mother. That's me tonight.
Okay. Does that look better to you?
That looks a little better.
That looks a little better?
Yes.
All right. I don't even know why. Normally I would be annoyed at something like this. I think it's because I'm really tired because you made me skate for miles and miles today.
Yeah, you did. That was good, too.
Yeah. How's that?
That is better.
That's better? What's a fancy font?
Ooh, I like that. Yes, you know what? Thumbs up. Thumbs down to your stupid gray, and I don't know what the heck that was, but this...
It's like Unicode.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. All right, so there you have it. We've settled the issue with the... Let's... there you go. How's that? No, that doesn't look so good. I don't know why yeah, it's because I'm tired. That's why. Jessica made me skate. Skated for
You did so good.
4.5 miles of skating today.
Yes.
That's more than enough. And you know, it's funny because you go for miles, and you know what? You end up exactly where you started. How about that?
It's a big loop.
Yeah, you don't go anywhere.
Well, everybody knows
there's a destination.
Everybody knows the Goodyear blimp, though.
Yeah,
everybody knows it.
Yeah, everyone's aware of the Goodyear blimp.
That's where we skate around, where that lives.
That's true. We do skate around.
That's kind of cool. People can relate to that.
You know, it used to be much cooler because it used to be all right. There's a blimp in California, and then there's a blimp in Florida, and then that's it. And
they
now
have the MetLife, and they have.
I mean, not only is there other MetLife blimps, but there's also other Goodyear blimp bases around the country. So,
is that right?
Yeah, whilst for a while Pompano was unique in its Goodyear blimp baseness, now it's not as. I'm not going to tell you there's one in every town, but it's not as unique as it once was. Anyway,
would you like me to do the roll call for the?
Well,
chat
why don't
room?
I go ahead and let folks know how to get there to begin with? If you do not want to give us a call at 661-349-8255, 661-349-TALK. Instead, what you can do, you can hang out in our chat room. Go to talkradiox.com, hit the TRX chat button, and you'll hang out with a bunch of fun, exciting people such as...
We just heard you, inside burp.
Oh, you heard that. I was afraid of that. Well, go ahead, Jessica.
In the chat room tonight, we have...
Yes.
Anna Tubert.
Okay.
We have Jess, word to your mother.
Uh-oh.
That's yours truly.
Is that who that is?
Yes.
I was wondering.
Jessica, better than cream stevia.
Agreed.
Chit.
Okay.
Spook Central's in there.
Okay.
And Aaron.
Hello, Aaron.
And Aaron is all talky tonight so far.
Is that right?
Yes.
I'm waiting for Spook Central to make a move there, just so you know.
Is he close to her?
I have no idea. Here, you know what, though? I'll tell you what. I would like. It wouldn't matter where somebody was in the like. If I was single, and say there was some gal halfway across the country, didn't matter.
I know because
I'd get in my car. I'd be going. I don't care.
When we were first dating,
right?
When we first met.
Okay, yeah, you were a half hour away.
It's still far.
It's not relatable to multiple states.
Well, it isn't, but I assume that if you met someone, because we met online.
Yes.
We are one of the, we're one of the.
All right, stop
story.
it already.
We've already talked about it.
I know, that's why. It's old, but you see, you look at you're delighting, you're reveling in the thought of it. And that bothers me. I don't want that. Instead, I'll just tell folks how you can find us over on Facebook. Go to facebook.com and type in The Radio Dan Show. Seems easy enough. What does that mean? B-Dub Dan. Is it someone said that to me? What does that mean, Jessica?
I don't know.
I don't know either. All right. I'm confused at that one, but that's fine.
What, through Skype?
Yeah, through Skype. Yeah, people like to Skype me messages. You can, too. The Skype line is Talk Radio X. You can also, by the way, you said, because I said I would travel states. Oh, and that's what B-Dub did for Jackie Joe. He traveled states. But look, he's still with that woman. See? It's risk versus reward. Okay, you give up some time in a car, right?
Right.
But at the end of the car trip, maybe it's true love.
Maybe.
What is wrong with that?
Nothing's wrong with that.
You know what, Jessica? I am a hugely, hugely cynical person. Is this not correct?
Yes.
I'm very sarcastic.
You're super sarcastic.
I don't like people.
It's true.
People generally don't like me.
That's true as well.
I'm pretty happy with that. But yet even I can get behind the concept of finding your true love and traveling a great distance in order to do so.
Do you believe in just one true love?
No, I don't believe in just one true love. That's why I'm out with other chicks all the time. There's all kinds of true loves that you have in the world. But hey, who knows? Maybe one lives only 5 states away. What's wrong with that?
Who can say what's wrong with that?
Besides, everybody knows that in South Florida, there's no available attractive women around here.
That's true because I'm married.
No, it's full of hot babes down here. That would be silly.
Oh, that's opposite. Yeah, that's not right, Dan.
I'm saying, come on, Jess.
There's lots of. This is where the beautiful people live.
It really is. I don't know what we're doing. Well, that's why we're in Boca. We're with all the old cronies. That's the problem
that's
there.
True.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of us being in Boca, I should let you know that we're on other stations like SoFlo Radio, like the All Digital Radio Network, like 1650 AM over in McKinney, Texas, 1500 AM over in and Detour Talk in Johnson City, Tennessee, and no, not really, but who doesn't love that drop?
Everybody loves that drop. Who was the one who came up with that? And you want to know something? You need to get your drops from the thing on your computer because you know what's in that drop?
What's in there?
Jessica World.
I have that drop.
Well, why don't you play it?
You know what? I don't even think I have that on my board anymore because I stopped using it. Yeah, but instead, you can get that New Zealand caller saying your name.
Jessica.
How about that?
That's
Jessica.
true.
Mm-hmm. Hey, how you doing over there?
Jessica.
See, I could just instead of me saying it, I can do that.
Jessica.
Wait, pay attention. Are you paying attention?
Jessica.
See?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. It's not that great of a drop, by the way.
Jessica.
It is kind of funny, though. He does say it with an awfully funny accent. Email dan@talkradiox.com, blah, 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 blah. Tuesday night here, Jessica. Do you know what Tuesday night means?
I get a DVD.
Hey, what do you know? Score one for the intern. She is correct. Jessica, you will be choosing a DVD tonight. Is that exciting or what, huh? All kinds of exciting things are available for you this week. Who knows what you could do? I'm telling you, something is off about this room tonight. Like your camera was off tonight, and I feel like I'm lower in my chair than I was before.
Maybe the cat jumped onto that.
Jumped onto what?
The thing that has the...
What's the thing? Stop saying the thing all the time. What's the thing?
The platform that is holding the cameras. It's very difficult for me to remember what things are called.
There was a time in Jessica's life, I would say about 5 years ago, where you had actually attempted to make saying "thing" a permanent part of your vocabulary, like
You
an
didn't
everyday part of life, where you had decided this is absolutely true. Jessica had decided, no more will I think when it comes to talking about items or objects.
Only if I couldn't think of what
anything.
it was. Only if I couldn't think of what it was right away.
Yeah, but you weren't just doing it where you weren't coming up with it. It was just immediately I was going to do this. And you would just constantly say the thing. You go, Dan, will you go and get me the thing? And I'm like, what are you talking about? You know the thing. And it was just, it was like the word Smurf in the TV show Smurfs. It was for everything. I know, I had to I don't know. How did you get out of that habit? Because it was a good couple of months.
Yeah, you were like, you need to stop that or else I'm not going to be able to know you anymore.
It's true. It was very embarrassing. Well, you were basically decided, I'm going to shut my brain off.
Yeah, I did.
I'm going to take a section of my brain and turn it off.
I'm not going to think of what things are anymore.
That's really funny, by the way. That you thought enough about not thinking that you came up with a way to do it. I'm going to just use this word for everything.
Well, it's accepted. It's an accepted word anyway for things of that sort.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't like I came off of my rocker or anything. It was understandable because everybody said the thing. But yeah, I would be telling a story if I couldn't, and I would get annoyed with other people too when they would sit there and take a long time to try to, what was that called? I was, just say thing and move on. It's okay.
Yeah, and as I recall, I remember a couple of conversations that you had with other people where you were like encouraging. Yeah, you should do this too. I've come up with this way where I don't ever have to think again. I just say thing all the time. You should try that out. I'm telling you, it's the best thing that ever happened to me. Like you went to some Tony Robbins seminar, and then now you were preaching his gospel to everyone. Hey, guess what? I'm not thinking.
Shut up.
It's the not thinking philosophy. Not thinking seminar hosted by Jessica Pack. Jessica, we love talking about James Bond all the time, right?
Yes.
A little bit of James Bond news for you. Talked about how, okay, they are ramping up and getting ready to do another film, right? And looks like MGM is ready to get going here. They're teamed up with Spyglass. They've done the merger. Everybody's happy. And they said, look, we need some help getting this thing out here. So we're going to have to appeal to other studios to help finance this movie. And maybe we do a little financing of our own, right?
Right.
Well, they went ahead and they sat down and went on dates with all of the major studios, and it looks like Sony Pictures is going to be the winner here. But here's how they did it, Jessica. Here's how the leverage is going to work. Hey, Sony Pictures.
Yes.
Or when you go to the movies, in case you wonder, why don't I ever see a Sony Pictures logo? Columbia Pictures logo or a TriStar logo. That's Sony, Jessica.
Sony.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Sony Pictures. I know you want to help us distribute our next James Bond movie because, let's be honest, it's going to bank.
It always does.
It'll bank here, and it will doubly bank overseas. So, you want in with us. Yes, we want in with you. Well, hey, how about this? How about we go ahead and let you help us distribute the movie, and you give us a piece of, let's see, what could you give us a piece of? How about The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo? That's coming out at the end of the year. You know what? We put a little bit of investment money into it, and now when the movie comes out and profits are doled out, hey, what do you know? MGM gets a few dollars in the pockets. How does that sound? Sound like a fair deal to you, right? Right, Sony?
Well, how much money are they putting in? Like $5?
I don't know what they're putting in, if they're putting in anything. But I will assume that they have to be putting something into it.
Or else it would be a lie.
Well, I don't know that it would be a lie. It's a deal.
It would be inside trading.
No, it's not inside trading. Because they're going ahead and they're letting Sony help them distribute the James Bond movie, which in turn they will share the profits. You see? I mean, Spyglass Entertainment, right? Yeah. For example, Spyglass made a bunch of money, right? Now they're the ones that are now rolled into MGM. They're the ones that saved MGM.
Okay.
Okay. They got a bunch of money by investing in movies they didn't make. They went ahead and just, ponied up cash and became partners. For example, Star Trek.
Star Trek.
When Paramount Pictures went ahead and made Star Trek, you might have seen a Spyglass logo before the movie. I don't actually remember seeing one. But hey, maybe it was there. Anyway, it wasn't as though Spyglass was on the set or coming up with ideas or doing anything. I almost knocked over my microphone. But they went ahead and threw some shekels that way, and the next thing you know, a hell of a lot more shekels came back at them. And now they're making moves. See, here's the deal, Jess. How do we do this? Can we invest in something?
We have to at least have something.
Right? Can I invest in a movie? But I don't, there's always like little indie things, right, that are going on where it's like, hey, man, pledge $5 and then your name gets to be in the movie at the end. You're listed as like special producer, and then at the end, it's like a half hour of credits. Right? Because, $5 doesn't go very far. So you need, 5 million people with $5 to pony up.
Is there any movie that's made it pretty decent size because of something like that?
Not to my knowledge.
But it happens all the time.
Yeah, I see it happen where people are begging for cash.
So
hey, donate for this or donate for that.
So the odds are you're still waiting around for that. What was that called? Paranormal Activity with the credits and the $5.
Yeah, exactly.
Because then you can make some money off that $5.
Well, yeah, I guess so. I mean, if you were one of the dudes, I don't know that Paranormal Activity went around offering $5 producer credits, though. I don't know that happened.
They should have. They could have made They could have had a little bit more special effects.
Hey, if I donate $50, could I be executive producer? Yes. Sounds like a plan to me. Anyway, Jessica, moving on. I know you really like Sylvester Stallone, correct?
No.
You like all of his movies, Over the Top, Cobra, Stop or My Mom Will Shoot.
Yes.
You like that one?
Of course.
I See You, Demolition Man, The Expendables. No. Anyway.
Demolition Man,
right? Don't mess around with the Demolition Man. Mm-hmm. Anyway, Jessica.
Take this job and shovel it.
Oh my God. Sandra Bullock says that, doesn't she?
She does.
Movie. And then he says, shove it. Like he's embarrassed because she's got it wrong.
Yeah, because nobody else knows.
It's so bad.
Everybody eats Taco Bell in that movie.
Yes, that's true.
I want Taco Bell.
Wow, that movie's really bad, huh?
That movie is... what's really bad in that movie is Wesley Snipes. I think his outfits are terrible.
Oh, he dresses like a clown, and then he's got the blonde hair. Doesn't he have, blue eyes or something? Or one blue eye? I forget.
Remember.
I don't know.
It's terrible.
Marco Brambilla directed that movie, Jessica. You know who that is? Me neither. That's who Marco Brambilla is.
Is that Alan Smithy's brother?
No, maybe it is. Anyway, for some reason, I'm always interested in what Sylvester Stallone does with his career, especially now that he's on somewhat of an upswing, right?
Right.
That's what keeps making movies that he's directing and he's writing, which is to me is a problem because I don't think he's very good at either of those things, right?
Well, at least he's making money, though.
Okay, sure. I don't... What is that, though? I hate that. Don't bring that argument up.
It's a valid argument.
No, but we're talking about quality. If I go ahead and I start talking about... Go ahead. Give me a controversial figure.
A controversial figure?
Yes. Doesn't matter.
Nelson Mandela.
Nelson Mandela. Yeah, okay. Somebody entertainment-based.
Entertainment... Mel Gibson.
Mel Gibson. Okay, there you go. I could go, and if I feel like saying, okay, well, you know what, Mel Gibson, he hasn't made a good movie in 10 years, and not to mention all of his PR nightmare, blah 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 blah. And then the counter to that is, yeah, but you know what? You got to admit though, he's been very successful, and he's made a lot of money. What does that have to do with anything?
That has to do with the fact that he was sought after.
Oh
his movies made money.
But I'm not talking about him. But that's beside the point.
So you're telling me.
That's beside the point.
You're telling me that a movie,
yes,
right?
Right.
If if it makes like gazillions of dollars,
okay,
that means that people have to enjoy that movie.
Right.
So that means it was a good job done.
Okay.
There you go.
No, but all right. See, you're missing my point. I'm talking about, say, someone's relevance right now, and then someone says, "No, but this person has done all of these other things in the past, and they made a lot of money, and they're very successful." You see, if I'm telling
so
you,
you're talking about like Steven Seagal, like, oh no, you can't bring him back.
Oh well, I guess sure. If I were to say, you know what? Okay, if I were fine. If that helps you with this. If I were to say, you know what, Steven Seagal, he's this chubby, bloated, ridiculous guy with a ponytail, and all his movies go straight to DVD, and they're terrible.
And he, kidnaps women. Let's not forget that.
Allegedly. She dropped that case.
Did she?
You knew it. You forgot it.
All I know is that she left her makeup there, which was worth hundreds of dollars.
All right, stop.
So that must mean that she felt threatened, Dan.
All right. So, if I were to sit there and say this, all these negative things about Steven Seagal, oh, he's the joke, and, he makes awful films. And then the counter to that is, yeah, but you know what? You got to admit, he's been very successful in his life. Isn't that a stupid counter to the argument? My point is, right now, he's irrelevant and he's a joke.
You're right.
Thank you. That's all I'm trying to say. That was all I wanted to say.
He is irrelevant and a joke right now, except for in the MMA community.
Yeah, apparently so. Apparently he's got it going on.
Yeah, he's like the expert swing kick teacher.
Yeah, he taught that guy how to do a kick the other day at an MMA event, and it was a kick to the face. And I don't know if you saw it, Jessica, but it was like the Karate Kid. It was like a standing kick to the face. It's like something that you wouldn't expect to see in a professional fight. I'm no MMA fan. I heard about it and I had to watch it. Okay.
You had to go find it?
Yeah, I had to go find it. And then at the end, right? Steven Seagal is telling everybody, "Yeah, I taught that guy how to do that kick." And then the guy is saying, "Yeah, Steven Seagal taught me how to do that kick." And it's like, how is that possible?
Well, how
do people regard Seagal legitimately when the rest of us look at him?
I have a question regarding this.
Okay, go ahead.
How much can someone teach someone how to do a kick? Like, if I see someone do a kick, doesn't that mean
yes.
Can I not do that kick? Is it something like algebra where I've got to learn it?
I invented the kick to the face.
Not invented, but I mean
No, that's what he's saying. He came up with it.
I don't know. It seems like
people
if he
weren't kicking anyone to the face before I did it. I don't know. Oh, hang on a second here, because getting a call. Antibert is checking in. Addy?
Hey, Radio Dan. Clearly, Steven Seagal taught him that kick in theory. He didn't actually show him because Steven Seagal cannot lift his leg above his knee.
What, nowadays?
Yeah. He's a pretty bloated guy. I know. But
so he just explained to him how to do the kick.
Exactly. He must have just told him. I know. It's one of those things where it's like, come on. Steven Seagal isn't teaching anyone how to do anything other than order fried chicken. That's it, right?
I could totally go for some fried chicken.
But then the guy who did the kick was like, yeah, I learned it from Steven Seagal. And
I know,
it's
he's
no, I can't believe this. This is too much for my brain to absorb this information. It cannot be true. I know. It's like you learned... it's like if he did an eye gouging move and, Mo Howard came along. Yeah, I taught him how to do that in my Three Stooges
but Mo could actually do the eye gouge.
It's true.
I mean, no, don't misunderstand me. I love Steven Seagal. Probably not for the reasons why he would want me to love him, but
yes,
nevertheless.
Sure. Steven Seagal is worth a lot of entertainment. Just not the way he means it to be.
Antibert, that he kidnapped some lady and made her a sex slave or something, right?
Allegedly. It's not proven. You can't do... You know what, though? I'm glad Antibert is here. You know why?
Why?
Because Antibert does a line from Out for Justice. He has a Steven Seagal line that he does from Out for Justice, and he doesn't know. I love when he does that. Annabelle, can you do that for me?
Anybody seen Richie? Anybody know why Richie did Bobby Lupo.
That's it right there.
What is that? I don't even
It's
understand.
from Out for Justice. He says it like 16 times in the movie. Hey, anybody see Richie? He like walks into like bars and you know.
Hey, you're gonna shoot somebody upstairs. There ain't nobody upstairs.
What is this? This is
You've never seen Out for
No.
Justice? Jessica, this is a movie where in the beginning someone throws he's going down the street or whatever, and then someone like in a truck throws a bag out of the truck, right? And it's like
litters?
Well, yeah, like litter, and then he walks up to it and it's full of puppies.
What?
And of course, and then he like makes a mental note. All right, if I ever see that guy again, and of course he sees the guy at the end of the movie. You know, like kicks his ass.
What is he doing? Like making a kitten pie?
I don't know. I mean, I have that right, Ed. I have not seen the movies probably in like 20 years.
Who throws a bag of puppies out?
And then after he beats him up, the police dog goes over to him and pees on him.
So stupid. That's retarded. I don't understand. Who would throw out puppies?
I don't know. Evil guy who's just there to be a joke and a foil for 5 minutes in a crappy Steven Seagal movie. That's it. Puppies.
I'm going to keep coming back till somebody remembers.
It's good. That's good.
Greatest scene ever in any movie.
Quite possibly.
The other question I had for you is Paranormal Activity cost more than $5 to make? Oh, that's amazing right there.
Not much. It was like $6.75.
$3.50 for the roll of fishing wire to open the door up.
Yeah, no. Cost next to nothing. Yeah. No, that was not one of the movies that was financed for all the $5 that I was talking about.
Oh. How did Paranormal Activity 2 do in the box office?
It did very well for itself. So get ready for a third one. Let's just put it that way. Yeah.
Let's
milk this one.
I just saw a ad for the Anthony Hopkins priest movie.
The Right.
Yeah, that looks really scary. They say the ads say it will make you believe in the devil.
We already believe since The Exorcist, though.
I don't know, like.
But wait a sec, like, I don't know. If you're religious, don't you believe in the devil anyway?
I know, but
What's the audience you're going after?
Here's
here?
the thing: I think the movie's so
movie's
scary.
for you, atheists.
The movie's so scary that it's like, even if like you're like, okay, well, you know, the devil, yes, he's fine, but maybe that you'll believe that he can take over and be inside you.
that you could be possessed?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know.
That means I'm not seeing that movie.
I'll tell you what, like there's something about the religious-themed horror movies that creep me out more than regular ones. Like those really, yeah,
Amen.
Yeah,
Amen.
Like, thank you. Yeah, I feel like I need some holy water when I'm watching it instead of just drinking regular. It's just like I don't know. I'm very uncomfortable. Like far more.
Yeah,
than,
I'm with you. Like The Exorcist was the scariest movie, right?
Oh my God, it's terrifying. It's absolutely
The
terrifying.
Omen?
The Omen is another one that it gets into your head and you think about it. I don't know. There's something about it. Yeah, no. I like I'm with you, Jessica. I'm just totally never seeing The Right. No chance.
Maybe I'll Wikipedia it.
I will pass on my right to see that film.
Well, thank you. You've been helpful as usual.
And thank you for bringing all kinds of good Out for Justice memories to the program tonight.
Love it. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, Auntie Bert.
Jessica, the guy throws puppies out the window. You know what? These puppies are used.
These puppies are more than just a couple days old.
Psycho Rabbit chimes in saying that I can understand why someone would throw puppies out the window. I don't want to know. Out of like a car, like he's driving in a truck. Throws
Wait
the
a
puppies
minute.
out.
I think Spook Central just put the little clip in the chat room. Oh no, wait, he's saying where's Richie?
Oh, okay.
I'm watching this movie right now in the chat room.
Okay, well, see, that's why you want to go to the chat room. Go to TalkRadioX.com, hit the TRX chat button, and put yourself right on in there, Jessica. Mm-hmm. Let's see, what else do we have? Irritating jerk Keith Olbermann is going to Current TV, Jessica. He went Splitsville with MSNBC. And boy, Boy, oh boy. I started, it was like a week after it happened, but I started reading more about it. They couldn't wait to get rid of him. Which I'm sure, and I'm pretty sure that's been the case everywhere he's worked, over when he was at Fox Sports and when he was with ESPN, just a grating guy. But now he's going to Current TV. And it's funny to me because not only is he going to be like the face and the name for Current TV, which is good for them because who knows what that is? Have you heard of Current TV?
No.
Yeah, exactly. And they say it's a left-leaning cable station that was founded by Al Gore in 2005. It's available in 60 million homes. I love that statistic because that's one of those stats that make you believe that more people watch it than actually do. And I will go ahead and give you a comparison on this, Jessica. When the NHL and when ESPN said, you know what, nobody watches hockey, we're not going to carry it anymore. And their contract was up with ESPN, and ESPN said, well, good luck to you guys. You've been great. You were the first major sport that we had. I don't even know if you're still a major sport anymore. Good luck with your life, right? So they became a free agent, and they had all of these options. These other people were coming to them and saying, all right, we want the NHL there, or we want the NHL. And it wasn't like it was anybody all that great, right? They went ahead and they signed up with Versus. That's who carries the NHL now, right? And Versus is available in so many millions of homes because it's part of Comcast. So if you have Comcast, you have Versus. Still, nobody knows what Versus is. It's one of those channels, Mm-hmm. It's like way up on the dial, And honestly, I would imagine at this point the NHL is like, oh my God, what do we do? No one knows what this channel is. Like, Versus is a sports channel, but of course, they're a sports channel much like ESPN was in, like, 1987, where they were showing hockey games, and then they were showing, like, hunting and other other sports, You know what I'm saying, Jess?
I hear you.
That used to be
but look at what ESPN is now.
Well, yeah, and then once they got to that point, they kicked hockey out.
Screw hockey.
Yeah, so just you wait, NHL. Once Versus gets over, you're on the way out. Terrible, Jessica. Terrible. Let's see. The Walking Dead, by the way. Remember we were talking about The Walking Dead and how Frank Darabont said, hey, you know what? My show's doing great. How about no more writers? That's always a good idea. To get rid of all the writers. And he was going to have freelancers only next year. Well, that idea has been tossed out the window. They're going to have a writing staff. I don't know what the change is or what caused the change, but I'm glad to see that, there's some sense that's going on there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Here's a great story about a bunch of jerks, Jessica. Jerk 1, Michael Moore. Jerk 2, Harvey Weinstein. Oh, boy. Here's what we have, Jessica. We have Michael Moore is suing the Weinsteins over movie profits for Fahrenheit 9/11.
Oh, okay.
Well, okay, Jessica. The movie that was about, people profiting off of 9/11, Michael Moore hasn't profited enough. He says that he's owed at least $2.7 million from the Weinstein brothers. That he says that his claims were they were rerouted. His profits were rerouted and unpaid profits. Here's the funny thing about this, right? Keep in mind, okay, I'm gonna throw two things at you, and you tell me, where do you want to side on this one? Okay? Because first of all, Michael Moore's already made $19.8 million off of that film.
Okay.
So he's made a lot of money, right?
He has. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And on the other hand here, right, we have the Weinstein brothers who are doing, well, first of all, I don't know if everybody knows this, but, Harvey Weinstein is he's like the Suge Knight of the movie business. He's a big, giant, scary bully, right?
Right. And
people love him at first and end up hating him. He's apparently just a huge bastard. Huge bastard. And here, odds are, he probably did screw Michael Moore out of $2.7 million.
Yeah. And
everybody knows how Hollywood accounting is one of those things. It's one of those sneaky things where they go ahead and they take a movie that made $1 billion, and they will give you a sheet that shows, oops, sorry, we lost money on this.
Yeah.
We saw it. We saw it when they had a profit statement released from one of the Harry Potter films. The movie had made over $500 million worldwide, but they still showed it in the red. It was amazing. It was amazing. So, well, this is going to end up going to court. And these two guys can fight over the $2.7 million.
Well, you know what? Then we'll see the financial sheet on
Exactly.
on
See?
Fahrenheit 9/11.
That would be good. Yeah, go ahead. But I would love to see that because first of all, what did that make? I mean, I'm sorry. What did that cost to make? Nothing, right? The Weinsteins, I think, bought the rights for it for like $6 million, something like that.
Oh, is that right?
Took in over 200 worldwide. Although they gave like 60% of the profits to charity. Well, then again, you got to look at it this way, though. What profits? We gave 60% of what was in the black to all the profits.
Yeah.
Of course, according to this sheet, there are no profits. But once we get them, we're looking right now at DVD sales. Boy, by the year 2025.
We'll be right almost out of the black.
That's right. We'll be right there. We'll have a check ready for $4.25 for that charity. All right, Jess. It's Tuesday. I'm tired because you made me skate for almost 5 miles today.
I know. It was awesome. I'm going to change out your wheels tonight, so it'll be a little bit easier tomorrow.
All right. That's awfully thoughtful of you. Yeah, by the way, I have terrible skates. And if you have terrible skates and you skate on like regular, concrete, it's horrible.
It's hard, yeah.
Oh, it's not hard.
But I ordered you some rubber wheels tonight.
It's awfully thoughtful of you. Again, you're a thoughtful, wonderful woman, Jessica.
Yes.
You certainly are. And because you are such a thoughtful and wonderful woman, you know what I'm going to do for you?
What?
I'm now going to present to you your DVD pick of the week.
I'm so happy I didn't have my headphones on.
Well, actually, I guess I'm not presenting it to you. I'm just presenting to you the DVD choices. You'll be picking it yourself.
Yes, but then you'll be presenting it to me.
Yeah, I guess you could look
by
at it.
buying it for me.
It's very thoughtful when you think about it because, you really are terrible. You know what I'm saying? You really don't seem to care too much. You show up when you want. When are you gonna be gone? By the way, and I don't say that in like when are you leaving finally? Because you need to leave. I mean, when are you go? You're going on a trip soon.
I am. I'm going.
Your mic is off.
I am. I'm going to South Carolina.
Okay.
All right, let me see the calendar.
Mm-hmm. By the way, your first choice, Paranormal Activity 2, oddly enough, right?
That's funny. I am leaving on the 23rd, and I will be back on the 26th.
Okay. Very good.
What's today, the 8th?
Today is the 8th, so it's like 2 weeks, and those sound like weekend days.
No, they're not. It's
well,
Wednesday
I mean, most of them are. Yeah, so Wednesday, it's 2 nights without you.
Yes.
2 nights in a row. We'll have to figure something out. Anyway, just to give some numbers on Paranormal Activity 2. Cost, $3 million. Domestic, $84 million. Foreign, $86 million.
Wow. Yeah, that is a lot of money it made.
Mm-hmm. In fact, it made, Jessica, this movie, and then, of course, when you couple it with what the first one made, right? They made so much for Paramount that they now have that micro, division where they're looking for little horror films or just micro-budgeted films in general to distribute.
Oh, that's right. Yes,
I mean, the first Paranormal Activity cost like $15,000, something like that, right?
Yeah.
And took in over 100. So it's like, oh, we're on to something here. Mm-hmm. Anywho, where are we? Where are we talking about here? We're talking about, that's right, DVD choices. Paranormal Activity 2, Jessica, full of profitability. Would you like to check it out for yourself?
Let me think about this for a second.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Jessica says no paranormal, blah, blah. She don't want the movie. Fine. You know what? I can understand that. It's a scary movie, and maybe scary movies are not your cup of tea, correct?
Correct.
All right. How about this, Jessica? The original version was reviled, condemned, and banned around the world for its on-screen depictions of depravity and violence. Now experience the acclaimed remake that dares to go even further.
Nope, not interested.
Jennifer Hills is a big city novelist who rents an isolated country cabin to write her new book. But when she's brutally raped by a group of sadistic rednecks, those are the worst kind, by the way, Jennifer has plans for more than mere revenge. One by one, she will find them. She will inflict horrific acts of agonizing torment upon them.
Dan, you are reading this terribly.
And no jury in America would ever convict her. I spit on your grave.
No, thank you.
Come on, Jess. Live it up a little. You know what I'm saying?
No, I say no, thank you.
A little bit. Can't we just class up the DVD collection a little bit with I Spit on Your Grave? What's wrong with that?
Shut up.
No fun. Jessica, here was a movie that looked absolutely terrible to me, but it didn't look that way to you. So out you ventured without me for once and saw one of these romantic comedies that I can't stand. And then you know what happens when you came back? You said, boy, was that junk.
Oh, I said that?
Yes. And of course, I'm speaking about Life as We Know It with Katherine Heigl and Josh Duhamel and an adorable little baby. Hey, they're polar opposites. Well, Jessica, I tell you what, if we have a child, and in the event of our death, I would love to have someone that I want the two people that take care of my child hate each other.
Yep.
What a great idea this is.
It's true.
This is a movie. You know what I think about when I think of this film is I remember seeing an interview with Josh Duhamel and they were asking him, well, so how do you feel about this film? And he says, it's the best thing I've ever done.
I believe that.
Well, he was in Transformers, and the sequel. Jessica, also out this week is Middlemen. Middlemen, I actually wanted to see this when it came out over here. Middlemen, directed by George Gallo, who gave us the classic 29th Street with Danny Aiello. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes, that's the one where...
The Lottery.
Yes.
Joe Franklin has an appearance at the very beginning of the movie. Anthony LaPaglia. Anyway, this is the movie about internet porn, Jessica. In 1995, everyone had a VCR. Music was sold in record stores. Oh, this is lame already. I just don't like the way this is written. 1995 was, 60 years ago. And the World Wide Web was a newfound discovery. Businessman Jack Harris, Luke Wilson, had the perfect life, a beautiful family, and a successful career fixing problem companies. Well, then he meets Wayne Beering and Buck Dolby. Those are great names, by the way. Two geniuses but troubled men who have invented the way adult entertainment is sold over the internet. When Jack agrees to help steer the business, he soon finds himself caught between a 23-year-old porn star. What's wrong with that? And the FBI. Well, that's not.
That's not good.
All while becoming one of the wealthiest entrepreneurs of his time. Witness a story so outrageous you won't believe it's true. A story that proves business is a lot like sex. Getting in is easy. Pulling out is hard.
That is a terrible synopsis, but yes, I want that movie.
Right? Well, you know what? Because you saw the trailer, and you remember that the trailer looked good.
Yes.
Yeah, this is a horrible synopsis.
Terrible synopsis.
Now, it's funny because the reviews on it weren't very good. I can tell you that. They were it probably was I don't know, I want to say 40% fresh. Something like that. But a good trailer goes a long way in my head sometimes. And I like Luke Wilson. And I like the storyline.
Okay.
You go ahead. No,
I'm not a fan of Luke Wilson. I think he's terrible. I think he's a terrible actor.
Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of true though.
Well, it's not like there's any. What's the best Luke Wilson movie?
The best Luke Wilson movie was probably Royal Tenenbaums.
Yeah, I was gonna say it has to be a Wes Anderson
quiet,
thing, right?
Yeah.
Can we do one that's not a Wes Anderson movie? What's the best non-Wes Anderson Luke Wilson movie? Is it probably Old School, right?
Old School was good.
Yeah, and then he's also one of those guys who'll just show up in anything.
Yes, he doesn't say no.
Yeah, he's one of the he does no problem with just accepting all kinds of garbage. He's in something where it's so ridiculous that you would say, why would you do this? Why would you?
Idiocracy?
No. That's a good movie. What are you talking about? I love Idiocracy.
You do?
Oh my God.
You hate that movie.
Who does?
You.
Why would I hate that movie?
Every time I ever quote from it, you're like, ugh.
No. Okay, we saw the movie, and then I had to hear, welcome to Walmart, I love you, over and over and over again. It's not that great of a line.
It's true.
So, yeah.
Sorry.
No. It's one of the Jessica Simpson in Private Benjamin movie. It's like Major Movie Star or something like that.
She's in that. He's in that one.
Yeah, he's in
I did
something.
not realize that.
All right, instead, let's move on to something else that's awful that we saw. That's a romantic. Well, no, I guess it's just straight up comedy. You Again landed on both of our worst of the years. You don't want this.
No, I don't want that.
You like Zach Galifianakis?
I do.
Do you like mental institutions?
I do.
Then maybe you would like It's Kind of a Funny Story. He's in a mental institution. There's some teenager-y kid who's in there, too. Mentorship happens.
Yes.
That's it.
I think I'm still gonna go with the
Middleman.
internet porn.
All right.
Movie.
All right. Now we're gonna mix it up a little bit for you.
Okay.
I'm gonna throw a couple of curveballs your way. You will have to consider these. All right. 5 corners. You're like, what's that? Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Listen, we're going back to 1987 here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Here we have. I'm sorry. And by the way, this is written by John Patrick Shanley.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah. That's okay. He wrote Doubt. He wrote Joe versus the Volcano.
Oh, I like Joe versus the Volcano.
Okay. Here is a unforgettable story about life, love, and the unexpected twists of fate. The Dateline, The Bronx, 1964. Hines, John Turturro, has just returned to the neighborhood after serving time for attacking Linda, Jodie Foster, who was saved in this attack, Jessica, by young idealist Harry, Tim Robbins.
Okay.
As the world around them erupts in turmoil, the neighborhood of 5 Corners has a battle of its own to face when these 3 personalities clash over the course of 48 hours, and nothing will be the same again. Quirky and surprising, this acclaimed indie hit is a true original.
Well, I tell you, it has a lot of people in it that, you can't deny.
I'll tell you, honestly, I have seen 5 Corners. It is very good.
Oh, so it's from 1985?
Yeah, it takes place in 64, but it's from 87. It's from 87.
Oh, see, I thought it was a movie going back to that time.
No. Yeah, no. So they're all, they're all youngish looking at the time, You don't have all of them middle age now when no one wants to look at them.
Well, Dan, do you suggest I take that over Middlemen?
I suggest you do what you want. That's what I suggest. I'm also going to give you Wild Target. This is a new movie, Jessica. Take aim at action-packed laughs with this killer comedy featuring an all-star cast. Emily Blunt steals the show as Rose, a free-spirited thief who finds herself in the crosshairs of a world-class assassin named Victor, played by Bill Nye, not the science guy. But when Victor spares Rose's life, the lonely-hearted hitman sets off an outrageous chain of events that turns their worlds upside down. Joined by a gun-toting apprentice, Rupert Grint, Ron Weasley.
Oh, okay.
The unlikely trio teams up to thwart the murderous intentions of Victor's unhappy client. Woohoo! Guns, a Harry Potter kid, Emily Blunt, the old British guy, Rocker from Love Actually. Who wouldn't want to see Wild Target?
No, I think I'm still going to be torn between the 2 movies.
All right, let me see. Do I have anything else? No, I don't have any. I don't have a plot synopsis for WSA, but it stars Paul Newman, and it has to do with a radio station. So, and it's from, 1970. So I could throw that at you. Also, I could throw in the original version of I Spit on Your Grave. That's also out.
No.
You could check that out.
No.
Uncle Buck on Blu-ray.
I just saw that movie. I'm okay.
You're okay with that? Okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
I wasn't sure.
If I hadn't seen it recently, I might be like, oh, wait a minute, I could use Uncle Buck viewing.
All right. Well, go ahead, Jessica. That's it. I'm not going to present you with any more
Middlemen.
choices. Jessica has decided she is. Wow. What puts it in your favor? Is it because you've seen that trailer?
Yeah, I just saw the trailer recently.
The known is much better than the unknown. I can appreciate that. And Middlemen is Jessica's DVD pick of the week. Now, you're sitting out there and you're saying, wow, that's great. Now what should I do? Well, don't go running out to the video store right now because, well, it's going to be 9 o'clock and you're going to get to Best Buy or wherever it is that you go, or Passport Video, and
exactly.
Maybe it's going to be closed. So just write it down, and then tomorrow you do it. Here's what you do instead, Jessica. Instead, go to the kitchen and get yourself, a nice beverage,
a sandwich.
Get yourself a sandwich. Sit
pizza.
Right back down, Sit right back down.
A Hot Pocket.
And check out Talk Radio X, because here comes the Bad Side Live with our pal Tyler Hollywood coming up in just a few minutes here. Now, if you're a morning person listening to us on SoFlo Radio, it's going to be Nicole Sandler who is coming up next.
Go get yourself a breakfast sandwich.
Oh, my God. I love breakfast
sandwiches.
sandwiches.
An egg Hot Pocket.
No, not an egg. No, those aren't good. Don't do that. Get something. Get a real breakfast sandwich, because that's... Man, that's the nuts. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Anyway, I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight. Me and Jess will be back again tomorrow with more fun and exciting things going on. Like, tomorrow's Wednesday, right?
Tomorrow is Wednesday.
Oh, we got nothing. We got nothing! Oh, well. Say goodnight, Jessica.
Good night, Jessica.
Yamma, 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 yamma. Whoop-we-doo, Scooby-Doo, and gobbledygook.